So, we have an interesting situation going on here. So, obviously, yes, this is the injury report. We looked at it earlier today, but we didn't look at it for today's process, right? And one player we talked about earlier today for the process was actually Chuck Sizzle, because he did not participate in practice on Wednesday, and of course it's because of his thumb injury he got in last week's game. He actually did have one catch, and that one catch he actually got like leveled on, and then he also had some punt returns in that game, but other than that, he didn't really do anything. But he did not participate in practice yesterday or today, which means if he doesn't participate in practice on Friday, he might not be ready to go or might not go on Sunday. Now, he does have a thumb injury, and again, I don't know the severity of it, but chances are he probably will end up going, in all honesty. Again, like I said, it's kind of up in the air whether or not he does go, but it's not like Irv Smith, who has a hamstring injury. It's going to be a thumb injury, right? So, what that means is that they'll probably wrap it up, tape it up, and see how he's feeling, and if he feels like he can go, he'll go. If he doesn't, he doesn't, right? Here's the thing, right? Because Irv Smith also did not participate in practice today, and he's going to probably be out for this upcoming game, right? He has a hamstring injury, probably the second game he misses. We don't know how many games he'll miss, but this is definitely going to be another game for Tanner Hudson to really come up there and try his best to, really show off in his upcoming game. Keem Davis Gaither was also, he had a rest day on Wednesday, and then Thursday he was limited today. Joe Burrow has full participant in practice on back-to-back days, and that is awesome. But here's the kicker, right? Last week, when Trent Irwin was a healthy scratch, they didn't go with him. They actually bumped up Yoshi's snap count last week. So last week, so let's say the first 2 weeks, right? First 2 weeks, Yoshi had 1 snap week 1, 2 snaps week 2, and 8 snaps week 3. He actually had 10% snaps week 3 versus the first 2 weeks where he only had 2% and 3% of the snaps. Now, why is that the case? Because they made Trent Irwin a healthy scratch. Now, my guess is this upcoming week, we might see him become a healthy scratch again. Because if Chuck Sizzle cannot go, which is possible, then they're probably going to designate Travion Williams as the kick or punt returner. If they do that, well, he's already a kick returner, but they're probably going to make him the punt returner. If they make him the punt returner, then most likely they're going to use Chase Brown, Chris Evans, another player who's been a healthy scratch. They'll probably put Chris Evans, Chase Brown, and Joe Mixon in the backfield, and strictly use Travion as kick and punt return. That means if they had Trent Irwin as, inactive, Yoshi's going to get a lot more snaps in his upcoming game. Now, it's not going to be like he's going to get 100 snaps or, the 100% of the workload, let's be honest. But even getting anywhere from 12 to 15% of the workload, he's yet to get a target this year. But, listen, the more you get out there, the more you start running your routes, the more you look good, the more blocking you do, the more you get on the field, the more chances that they're going to put you on the field more often. And the fact that they made Trent Irwin a healthy scratch last week shows me one thing. They want to get him more involved. They want to get Yoshi out there and try to see what they have in Yoshi, right? And we already saw the preseason, he looked very good. And now with Irv Smith's injury last week, and again, like I said, Trent Irwin being out, it's just more time for Yoshi to show how good of a player he is. Now, again, like I said, obviously I'm biased because I want Yoshi to be very successful in the NFL. And I would love to see him really take off this year and go off, right? I would love to see that. So, again, I'm kind of just like, maybe in a little bit of a hope dream here and thinking that this could happen. But again, if Irv Smith does not play, which he probably will not, if Chuck Sizzle does not play, which there's a chance he will not, and Trent Irwin's a healthy scratch, Yoshi's probably at least getting 15% of the snaps versus Tennessee. And Tennessee's defense isn't that good. So we should be able to move the ball with ease. Now with Joe Burrow, first time full participant in practice since his calf strain on Wednesday. and back-to-back days, he's full participant in practice. He's looking good. He's looking back to normal, obviously as normal as he can be, because calf strain's not going to go away overnight. We already know this. Calf strain's going to be lingering and a problem for a long time. But if he can be, back to normal, Yoshi might get a chance to step up. And again, you got T. Higgins in the contract year, right? And I'm not saying Yoshi's going to replace T. Higgins by any stretch of imagination. But at the same time, T. Higgins, you're going to have to figure out what you want to do with him. And right now, Yoshi is not in a spot where we could, theoretically speaking, we're never going to place, T. Higgins. But there's not even a situation right now where Yoshi has shown us anything in the regular season, right? So let's say he does go out there in his Tennessee game, he puts up 100 yards or puts up 20, 30 yards and a couple catches, maybe a touchdown. Now you're like, okay, well, we can implement him more in this offense, right? Get him going a little bit more. I mean, I would love to see Chuck Sizzle in that kind of concept, but they really haven't utilized Chuck Sizzle at all. Surprisingly enough, in the first couple of weeks, Chuck Sizzle has only had week 1, he had 0 snaps on offense. Week 2, he had 0 snaps on offense. And week 3, he only had 3 snaps on offense. So again, Yoshi is getting a lot more reps overall-wise on offense than Chuck Sizzle. Now, Chuck Sizzle has been designated to, punt and kick return. But, for, clarification here, Ja'Marr Chase has had 187 snaps. T. Higgins has had 172 snaps. Tyler Boyd, 163. Then Trent Irwin, again, inactive last week, but 23 snaps total. Yoshi's had 11, and Charlie Jones has had 3. So, and again, that does not exclude special teams, which obviously is where Chuck Sizzle is, mainly be utilized right now, right? So, again, like I said, just more playtime potential for Yoshi to get out there and kind of work his magic and see what we can have in him. And again, a 4th receiver on this team being absolutely amazing is exactly what we need right now. We need a 4th explosive player. Get this run game going. Get players like Yoshi out there, really getting him going. And I think we'll be absolutely fine moving forward. And this is like the perfect time to see what we have in Yoshi. You play the Titans, you play the Cards, you play the Seahawks. All those defenses are very vulnerable to players like Yoshi, who are outside receivers, right? And you can get down the field. I'm not saying you take away anything from, T or Chase. Obviously, no. But you got to think in these next couple games, really what these teams are thinking is we have to double, triple, quadruple cover, Chase and Higgins. And that's when players like Boyd, Yoshi get out there and make plays. We don't have Irv Smith. We had Irv Smith, as all the scenarios I'm listing here really wouldn't happen. But because we don't have Irv Smith, we have to do something, right? And it's going to be run the football, and hopefully Tanner Hudson can step up. But if Tanner Hudson can't step up, it's going to come down to one simple fact. And that one simple fact is going to be, you guessed it, Yoshi. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.